join the game when it's over. Okay, so we need to register for an event. So, how do we register for these global events again? Reg event, GEV, vote to vote ended. Alright, so it's going to be user joined. And the event is going to be, it's going to have a user and a team. Alright, so user joined and user left. Okay, so we've got this user intro time. Everything else is looking okay. Let's see, where's the team? So how do we refer to our enums in JavaScript land? Oh, hey, we can get rid of stuff here. Awesome. Let me just write that down. Get rid of data tables, UI garbage. Okay, for enums, so it's going to be EBS teams. Okay, so we'll add our announcements for our user join and user left. Announce new player is not a function. In-game screen JS502. Announce new player, yeah. Alright. So what we actually want to do is we want to throw that event. So what this is going to be is we need to actually create the object. So we need this f-Dashkin user. Is it a none? Yeah, none exists. So we'll use that. Alright, let's go to our game objects and make sure we got our right stuff here. Numbered item is host. We don't have anything for that, do we? Can't refer to property in root node of null. Unexpected token 485. Alright, so that's looking alright. So we at least have that overhauled. Nice local player. Okay, so that's sorted for that sort of thing. So we need to start actually putting together these team members as well. So when we actually set these up, we're broadcasting the actual state. Anyway, I'm going to be right back. back. Alright, well, I'm just gonna troll Adam's chat for a second. So let's see. He's got timed out and all that shit. Oh, alright. Let me think. So, other than that, I need to start back working on this. Alright, so user joined, we got that. Got that set up. We need to stop relying on the player added list and all this other crap. Alright, so I'm gonna just get back to work then. Let me think. It's kind of a big system, so it's just good to get started on it then. So what we need to do is, at the beginning of Alright, so we need our game state to have like a local version of our actual player list. And this is not the player list, this is, yeah, game players. So let's just do this.gameplayers equals new fGamePlayers. Okay, so same thing here with let's just do this like load game players. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to load this thing up, and then we're going to throw that event. So what is the name of this guy? It's game utils, get game players. And that's going to return our F game players. And the event is game players updated. And it's just info. Yeah, so that should work. Alright, Karakan. Thanks for subscribing. Just so you can get all the emotes. That's great. Though I have another emote though. Let me see. Oh man, he's just going through. I guess, yeah, it's always nice to see people who actually appreciate the game. Yeah, I've got the new emote there, which is ambient sad. It's probably the worst emote of all time. I figure we have all these upset ones, and like really angry, and just we can have a sad emote too. So I'll be able to spam that at him whenever he does something, and that upsets me to the point where I'm not even angry anymore. I just take pity on him. But I'm out of water and caffeine, so I need to go get some more. Yeah, the guy talking about Electron and stuff like that. That's not a bad idea for a lot of things. I mean, making a game, you're not going to be making a real complex game with that. If I was going to make something in Electron, it would be like a simple game, kind of like Punchball. Where it's just a very simple sprites running around on complete 2D thing. Or actually like a business application I'd put in Electron. So if we were going to write like a launcher patcher, I probably wouldn't use Electron, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to use Electron. The only reason I wouldn't use Electron is I know how to use Qt a bit better, and I can get Qt a bit smaller, so a launcher patcher size matters a lot. Like, okay, download this 120 megabyte launcher so that it can download the 100 megabyte game. Like, yeah, that's not really worth much, is it? Versus, you know, download this 5 megabyte launcher to download this 100 megabyte game. I know things like that. Like, I was over at Twitch. I think they're running their Twitch app in Electron, and I was just talking to him. I was like, so how big is this? He's like, 200 megs. Like, but the game is a gig. Like, you just added, do you know how much that costs? It's like, it doesn't matter. They're like, you guys are idiots. Versus EA WebKit, actually, I think is one of the most scaled down WebKits I've seen. They're able to get their launchers below like 4 megs for a download, which is excellent. Okay, so where the hell was I? So I was loading the game players, so we have game players updated. So what I need to do is I need to have things that... I need to switch stuff over to using this. So, where do we actually use this? Like a team list or something? I think it's team roster. Alright, team roster. So this guy is going to register for this event. So it's going to be GEV game players updated, and it's got just info. Twitch app is pretty crap for most of the time, sadly. Yeah, that's I quit that team. Like I was on Amazon, like Amazon Game Studios pretty much was a project I was on, falling apart, and went up to the Twitch floor to work with some of the Twitch guys for a while, and after like 2 weeks I just quit. I was like, this sucks. Not that Twitch is bad to work for or anything, it's just goals were not in the same line. Like, Twitch is all about making stuff for streamers. Like, it makes sense, right? If you're making a digital marketplace for people to watch people do things, then you should be prioritizing the people that, you know, are streamers and everything else. And so they're making... Twitch does everything for streamers. That's their big thing, which is what they should be doing. But of course I wanted to make games, so I'm like, you know, talking about things from a game perspective and just getting fucking nowhere. And after enough of that, I was just like, you know, I want to make games, I don't want to make this other crap, so see you later. Also, they wanted to use C# and other languages like that, and, you know, and I was like, well, you're never going to be able to get that to run on Mac, you won't be able to run that on Linux. And they're like, oh, well, Microsoft is working on all these ports for all this stuff. And I'm just like, why would you ever rely on the success of your project for some crap that some other company promised and you don't have a contract with them to actually deliver it? You know, it's like, oh, man, we're going to make this big company. We're going to deliver widgets all over Australia. We just got to get FedEx to, they said they're coming in 2018. And then 2018 rolls around and they're not here. And you're like, well, shit. And then you just blame FedEx. You're like, FedEx didn't create our delivery system. You're like, well, what the fuck? Like, we said we were coming, but then we didn't because, you know, we ran into maybe other reasons. And it's like, no, you don't rely on other companies without a contract. It's It's fucking stupid. Alright, so this team roster widget. We make both of these teams, and then we're calling like ensure for team, left team members, and right team members. So let's see. We've got left team and right team. These are both string arrays. So basically we want to call this ensure for team, and we're going to pass in our data, and then like data dot left team. Yeah, okay, so that works. So what we'll pass in is the team, the user data, and then the user team. What? Alright, so this is the team, user data, and then the user list. Yeah, I mean, that's their business model. They should stick to it. Okay, so we're going to grab all the players out of this thing. We have like all this copy-pasted stuff everywhere. So I'm going to go through every player, and we're going to need to change all this stuff to like user ID. Alright, so this will be user list sub j. So if found is false, then remove player by ID, player dot user ID. Alright, so for all the members, this needs to be user. Well, if they don't constantly shuffle things around, I think that's kind of one of the things with development. You kind of have to shake things up. If you don't, you won't get anything done. Okay, so if the player is none, then I need to update these things. Okay, so we need to go through Okay, so we're going to want the player.user_id is going to be player.user.user_id. And I mean, all the constant changes to chat, particularly, at least give us the ability to disable all the key in front and baby's face thing. Yeah, that's true. Twitch makes a lot of questionable decisions about how they roll things out. Like, one of the things that they rolled out was Facebook login integration at one point, and they rolled it back like the next day, and it was just like, what the hell? Like it's such a stupid move. Like, okay, cool, we got Facebook login integration done, excellent. Let's use it, and then they get rid of it the next day. Like, what about all the people that made accounts? Also, they didn't tell anybody, so it totally broke like everybody who was integrating with Twitch. It was like, surprise. Okay, so we got the team roster widget set up there. Okay, so what we want to do is an in-game screen. When we create this user, we want to go to our gameplay. Actually, red is on the left. And we need to broadcast the event for this. So yeah, it was like we had an issue where like Twitch was down for a while, and we're Amazon and Twitch is on the 14th floor, and we couldn't get anybody from Twitch to actually respond and like tell us when the hell, like, what was going on and when things would be fixed. So I was talking to my boss. I was like, our game is down and everything is screwed up, and we need to do a play test, and we don't know. We got 15 people down on floor 3 just kind of sitting there, not knowing if the game is going to start working at any moment. So I'm like, well, can we get an update or talk to somebody? And tried emailing people, no response, nothing. So I was just like, went to my boss. I was like, so can we use Twitter? Like, can we just do hashtag Twitch down? Like, because their Twitter is responding to fucking like outage information stuff, but so it'd be like, an official Amazon tweet to Twitch when Amazon owns Twitch, asking them when the fuck they'll be back up. Like, hey, help us out here. It's just like communication is a little bit of an issue for them. All right, so we need to register an event here for this. So how do we do this in screens? So we need type, key, and callback. So what this looks like is so we can just do this sort of thing, and this will pick up all of our information then. Alright, so let's start getting all this organized. So I can start removing all these things. You're moving to Spain or and all that? I think my friend Steve lives in Madrid. Because he's one of the guys from Amazon. Oh man, what? You got like a regular job? A regular job, Karakin, but then you won't be able to watch Adam all the time. Like you're letting us all down. That's pretty exciting. That sounds like an excellent opportunity. Because I haven't heard anything bad about Spain from my friend there, so very good. I mean, is it? It's not G game state. It's G gameplay. All right, makes sense. Member is not defined. $4.95. Dashkin.js 49. In-game widget 860. Adding a new player. It doesn't appear to be working. Alright, so I need to look at game players updated. So in-game widgets 896. Alright, so this user data, left team, alright, members doesn't have anybody in it. Alright, so that's what's going to be happening is there are no members. Alright, so we've got that, and our list is not getting filled out because probably this in-game player is not setting the proper thing. Looks like we're not. So we're adding. So okay, left team has all the stuff, right team has all the stuff, but we're not adding to our members. If the player is null, then we're going to go through and we're going to try to find user data.members, J, user ID. Alright, so I need to go look up a few more things. So in-game team, so we have our team ID, we have our players and our player lookup. So add player, it's going to be player.user.user ID. Alright, cool, so that should work. So it looks like all of our players are getting added. And of course, none of our players are showing up inside of our game options. Or what about our user stats? User stats are just picking up trash. On-match stats updated. Well, that doesn't need to be entirely fixed, but the game options do, so let's go over to the game options screen and see what it's doing. Alright, so we got ensure team widgets and all that sort of stuff. Alright, that's a thing. So for our in-game widgets, we actually need to call this.onMatchStats. No. We need the user roster.